Hey y'all, this is Monica, and I am the Natural Hair Junkie. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend, as I am. And I am here, honey, because I just wanted to share with you what my Saturday was like because it was crazy. Okay, so let me tell y'all about what I did yesterday. Now, first, okay, so my sister got me into thrifting. Like, going to the Goodwill and thrift stores and finding things like that. And also like yard sales, garage sales, and estate sales. Yes, honey, estate sales. Now, when I started going to the estate sales, like first I was like, no, I'm not going to nobody's house that has passed away and going through their things. And then I went with her and one of her friends one day, and I found out that it is a lot of cool stuff you can get at estate sales. So, first, I just want to put you up on game about the thrifting game, which a lot of y'all might know about anyway. But there are a lot of things that you can find. If you're a person that likes to look through things, if you like vintage things, old things, collectible things, if you're a person that doesn't mind using stuff secondhand, but sometimes you can find a lot of stuff still new in the box, which is cool. So, anyway, I'm going to tell you about my experience yesterday. So, I had been looking for a mortar and pestle because I have a wooden one, but long story short, I need one that's a little bit of made of a harder material. And I found out that granite or marble was like the best kind to get. And I had been searching online for some. And I have found out that granite, of course, is cheaper. So I have found one, put it in my Amazon wish list. And I was like, I'm going to come back and get this at some point. Now, later that day, because we had went to an estate sale the previous weekend, and this is what I'm talking about. We went to a really cool one that had a lot of old vintage items, like things from the early 1900s. Some of that stuff could have been from late 1800s, 1920s to 1950s, like old phones, rotary phones, old typewriters, just all types of stuff. We found an old Lionel train, in the old box, and my brother had likes to put those trains together or whatever, so we ended up getting that for him. But you find stuff like that. I mean, I found a salt lamp that was still in the box, and yes, I bought it and I plugged it up, and I like that salt lamp, and it is doing well in my house. So anyway, back to yesterday. So I was looking up estate sales because I was like, oh, we should get back into like going to one like once or twice a week. So I was just seeing what was out there, and then my daddy was there, and I got to talk to my daddy about it. And I was looking through these photos, and I saw that these people, it was kind of far away, but not too far away, and they had a mortar and pestle that was marble. And I was like, this is beautiful. I want this. Let's go. My sister was like, yeah, let's go. So we went, okay? Saturday morning, we gets up and we goes all the way out here, there. And we get there, and the one thing that I wanted was not available. What in the world? We done drove all the way out here and it wasn't available. But my sister found a lot of cool stuff. She got a Starbucks Verissimo coffee maker. We found, a lot of stuff or whatever. And what I found that was the coolest item ever that I wasn't even looking for is this little thing right here. Check that out. It is a stand mixer, but not just any stand mixer. This is a vintage stand mixer from the 1950s. Look at this. Isn't this so pretty, honey? So I like to bake things, I found out during COVID. So I'm like, honey, I will put some pizza dough in here, or I like to make dumplings. Okay, I might make a cake or something. Who knows? I'm not afraid to use it, okay? Because they make stuff real sturdy and, good quality stuff. It still works. It's so cool. Um, but also, I might do some soaping with it. Hell, I don't know. Or I might decide to resell it because these things are really collectible and people pay a lot of money for this stuff. So, all that to say that you have to get into thrifting because you can find all types of treasures. And you might just have one thing that you look for. Like me, I like stuff like that, household stuff, kitchen stuff, maybe electronics, art supplies, DIY stuff, gardening stuff, stuff like that. I don't mind getting some of that stuff depending on what it is and what condition it's in. I don't mind getting some of that stuff secondhand and using it. A lot of my soaping supplies, I get it like the Goodwill or places like that. But like my sister has like a gift for getting, like she will go to the Goodwill and I kid you not, she comes out of there with all types of stuff, brand new, even clothes, like brand new quality stuff with, the original tag still on it. Like, I'm just like, and you would never know. Like, she could go to Macy's or to Coach or somewhere and get something, and she might have on some pants that she paid like $2 for at the Goodwill or something. Like, I just think it's like an amazing ability. Whatever. So, that's not the funniest part of the day. So, later on in the day, I go by my parents' house, and my daddy is like, okay, y'all, my daddy got me. Well, I always wanted to start a garden, but you know how you just be thinking about, ooh, one day I'm gonna do this, but you never do. But my daddy has a garden at his house where he grows a lot of vegetables, and they will grow stuff, and I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll take these vegetables home and make stuff with it. So my daddy grows like, bell peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that. And I'll get them and take them home. And, like I'll put it on a veggie pizza or make some chili or make some tomato sauce or something. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, I need to have me my own little garden because, sustainability, y'all. Okay. So for me, a part of my natural journey is really wanting to like live as much of a natural lifestyle as I can. I'm a vegetarian, so not the healthiest vegetarian all the time, but there's certain vegetables that I buy all the time. So I'm like, man, if I could just grow my own vegetables, this will be a game changer and I could save money because as you can probably see, I like to find stuff cheap when I can. Some stuff I will, certain stuff I will only buy, if it's, high quality, I'll, pay a little bit extra for it. But most of the time, if I can find a sale on something, I'm going to go with that. So my daddy and my mama had some potatoes. And you know how you have potatoes, and if you don't use them after a while, they'll start sprouting or whatever. So my daddy was like, he was going to plant some of these potatoes in his garden and see if they come up. And I was like, that sounds like a great idea. So I was like, well, Daddy, how do you plant them? And so he walked me through it and he gave me some of his potatoes. Okay, like this is so funny because I'm like in the backyard and he gave me some tools and everything. And this was so funny. I don't know. But I was like, okay, I'm going to plant these potatoes. And I did. And honey, I was out there in the sun in the backyard, um, toiling, digging holes to put these potatoes in. And my daddy was like, all you got to do is dig a hole and you make it at least 4 inches deep. And you put the potato in there, and where you see the little sprout coming up, you put that little sprout, make sure it's facing up, and then cover the potato up and heal it up. And that's all you got to do. And I was like, well, do I need some soil? Do I need this? Do I need that? And he was just like, all you got to do is just dig a little hole, put it in there with the sprout up, heal it up, And that's it. So I was like, okay, so that's what I did and forgot about it. And then one day, my daddy was like, his actually came up because they were store-bought potatoes because we didn't know if they was going to come up. And his came up and I ran outside to look at his garden to see what they looked like. And I was like, I got to hurry up and get home and see if mine have sprouted. And honey, they had little bitty sprouts because I planted mine after his. So they did come up. So I am over here tending to my potatoes, and I have a little Chiweenie. Her name is Evie. I let her outside to play in the backyard while I'm tending to the potatoes. We de-weeding the area, taking pictures of my little sprouts. Okay, no, this is funny, so I'm gonna tell you. So I put four of them down, so I call them my little quartet. And so each one, I named one the woodwind section, the brass section, the drum section, and the string section, okay? Yes, I do silly stuff like that. But anyway, they really were starting to come up, and I was so excited. So I was putting some water on them, getting them situated and everything, ready to go back in the house, honey. I look up, and my dog is looking at me, and I have to go back. Okay. When I was tending to the potatoes, I heard a little squeal. And I was like, what is that? But I didn't turn around because I was like, it's a lot of people outside. There's probably somebody outside doing something, I don't know. But I got ready to go back in the house. And my dog was right there by me. And I look up and she has a baby rabbit in her mouth. Honey, I screamed. Okay, I started screaming and cussing. I was like, what is this dog doing? What is going on? I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I was like, put that down. Put that down. Evie, put that down. Honey, she would not put it down. She was just holding it in her mouth. And I was like, what is really going on? Okay, so I did the only reasonable thing that I could think of. And I called my daddy. And my daddy was like, well, she's a dog. And, they do that stuff. They are animals. And I was like, well, Daddy, what do I do? Because she won't put it down, honey. I was really like having a fit. This is probably not as funny as it was when in the moment when it was happening. And Daddy was like, well, you don't want her to bring the rabbit in the house. You got to, get it and throw it over the fence or something. And my neighbors was outside. So I was like, I can't throw this dead rabbit over the fence in their yard and they out there doing something. And then I was like, well, how am I going to pick it up and it was just a big mess. And so finally, I don't know how she dropped it. I covered it up with something and I was getting ready to tend to that. And I looked back up and baby, she had another one in her mouth. I was like, where is these baby rabbits coming from? And why is she killing them? So I called my daddy again and we went through this. I know he was cracking up. The same thing. And then finally I got the second one and I got them all in bags and I threw them in the trash can and we goes back in the house, honey. And for some reason first of all, I didn't want to let her back in the house because I was like, okay, she done caught something and I don't know about this, but Daddy was like, she could come in the house. She can come in the house. You just don't want to bring the rabbit in the house. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to bring the rabbit in the house, but I don't know if I want to bring her back in the house either because she got the rabbit in her mouth, okay? So anyway, we got the rabbits taken care of. We go back in the house. For some reason, I fed her some food because I was thinking like she gonna have like a instinct to chase stuff, a blood instinct or something. I don't know. So I felt like I needed to get some regular food in her, honey. I don't know. So she ate and then she goes stand back by the back door and I'm like, oh Lord, she is looking for rabbits again. But usually she does go out to eat. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let her outside. To go pee. Lord have mercy. I said, go eat, child. Okay. So normally I let her out to go pee or poop after she eats. So I was like, well, this is probably going to be okay for me to let her out here. So I let her out. And I'm glad because sometimes I just leave the door open so she can just run out and run back in. But I'm glad I closed the door because I had turned around and was feeling around in the kitchen. And I was like, well, let me see if Eve is back. So I turned around to look at the door. And this dog is standing outside of the back door with another another baby rabbit in her mouth. And yes, I called my daddy again and got the same advice. Okay, what in the world is up with this dog and these rabbits? Like, I don't know. Like, I was just freaked out. Like, she's a Chiweenie. She's like a Chihuahua and Weenie dog mix. I'm like, okay, Chihuahuas don't chase stuff like that. I don't know. Weenie dogs do that. This dog is not a hound, but I got it at the Humane Society. So I'm like, honey, maybe she mixed with something. I don't know. Maybe she got some hound in her. But, I know that she chases stuff, but I ain't never seen her catch nothing. And it's like the way, look, I took a picture of the last one. Look at this picture, okay? Look at this. Look at this dog standing at the back door. And she's looking all innocent like, is she gonna open the door and let me in? Like she was like, want me to let her in with this rabbit in her mouth. And I'm like, what in the world? Oh my God. But then she looks so sweet and innocent. And it's just like, I'm just like the poor baby rabbits. Cause I'm just like, oh my God, the baby rabbits. She's killing baby rabbits. I was like, I told my sister, I said, my dog is a rabbit killer. Oh my God. It was so hilarious. So it's Sunday morning when I'm filming this. So I went to my parents' house this morning to help them with some stuff, and I wanted to show my daddy the stand mixer that I got because we found out it was a 1950s mixer or whatever. And then I showed him the picture of her at the door, and he got a good chuckle out of that too. And I've been showing this picture to everybody. But anyway, I thought that was so funny. I was like, I have to share this on my channel because I am communicating and interfacing with you all on a more regular basis. And I am sharing my life story. And I just think that, this is life. This is the little whatnots that go through. And this are the things that really help you to really kind of get an idea of who I am and how I'm living life now. But anyway, the dog is okay. The rabbits are not. But I mean, isn't that the circle of life, y'all? Okay, see, we can bring it full circle. That's the circle of life. Okay. And I was reminded that, you know what? When we have pets, we have to remember that they are still animals and they have their own instincts. And sometimes you have to remember that in life, that we all have our own instincts that we fall back on sometimes. So we have to just remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a dog, it's a pet, it's wonderful, it's domesticated. She is a really sweet dog. She's very smart, smarter than I actually thought, because apparently she's a hunting dog. But at the same time, she is still a dog. So before you put a dress or something on your dog or something like that, remember that they do stuff like this. They hunt and kill animals and things, and do not judge your dog. Because at first I thought I was discriminated against my dog because I really was not going to let her back in the house, like for real. And my daddy was like, it's okay to let her in the house. You just don't want to let the rabbit in. I'm so sorry. This might not even sound funny, but if you was in the moment, it was so funny. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. But just remember to always remember that, instincts. I don't even know. I'm getting out of here. Thank you so much for listening to this. This is long. I'm probably going to have to chop this up. I might not even post it on my channel. I don't know. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening and for checking out my new content. Because as you can see, as the Natural Hair Eclectic, I'm all over the place. But the good news is I am a new gardener with a growing green thumb, and my potatoes are sprouting, and I'm going to have some potatoes in a little bit, and I'm going to be planting some other stuff. Because my daddy said he was going to give me a tomato plant and a bell pepper plant, and I am excited about planting more stuff in my garden. And my dog is a rabbit killer, but it's okay because she is a dog. And here's something else that was funny. So my daddy said the same thing, but I had to Google it. And I Googled this on Google. And you know what Google said? The same thing that my daddy said. We have to remember they are dogs, they are descended from wolves, and this is a completely normal instinct. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm gonna head out of here because I got things to do. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Share this with anyone that you think would get a kiki out of this or would like to hear this type of content. If you have any suggestions of videos that you would like to see, or if you want more stuff like this, please comment and let me know down below and we can make that happen. But I leave you as always with the Natural Hair Eclectic motto, which is to be you beautifully and naturally. Take care, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.